science fiction. This is the second time that we are doing the science fiction draft. It's me, your boy C, the host of all the fine establishments right here on Poprika, and we have 3 new people that are drafting today. So we're going to have a brand new draft winner after this because I am not participating in this.
Are you not?
I won the first one, so I'm like, yeah. So yes, your chances increased by 25%. All of you. What'd you say, Carol?
There's just 3 of us.
It's just just a 3-person draft, man. So by the time we get done with this, man, 30 movies will be off the board. You should have some pretty solid lists because there's a lot of good stuff out there. Those voices that you heard, I'll go around the table. We have the mighty Mia Davis. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful and so happy to be here. You're
wonderful. I feel like since you found that I'm not participating, you just got happier for some reason.
I'm like, I've got to change.
One half of the refright scenes. I've been enjoying the show so far.
Thank you.
You got, at the time of this recording, which is months away from when it'll be actually released, but Scarface is coming up next?
Yes, Scarface is coming up next.
Just hit Netflix again yesterday.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
God, I don't have to spend money on that.
It was trending on Twitter. I was like, what the fuck is Scarface trending? And yep, it's back on Netflix.
They knew we were going to do it.
Yeah, you know what? I pulled a couple strings for you.
Us. Yeah. Did you watch Get Carter?
No, not
either
yet.
of them?
Not
okay.
yet. You know what, man? I got nothing planned after this, so I very well might just go home and cue that bad boy up.
We'll handle the podcast. You just watch that.
Yeah, I'll just pull it up on the old tablet. You guys got this. Across the table, the other half of Refright Scenes, Miss Carol Coles. How are you doing?
I am doing very well.
Excellent.
Happy because, some of my choices now just became a little bit easier.
I met a couple people I haven't seen since things went to shit last year, since we were all vaccinated. We're like, let's go out and drink. And I told my friend, I was like, hey, I'm going to have Carol on a podcast. And he's like, tell me where so I can download it right now. So there is a Carol Coles fan out there in the wild.
The one, the only.
And to my left, we have Mr. Joel Winstead of Winstead Reviews.
Hello.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, nice to have you in town, man. We cobbled this together real quick, so you didn't have to make another 4-hour trip back just for one of these.
I was going to do the round trip, but I ended up staying in town. So.
Yeah, I much appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. You're sacrificing your time and your body for all things Poprika.
My body was in great peril.
Now, before we get into this, did y'all come with any strategies? Or you're like, these are the ones I'm going for first? Or are you just like, whatever the fuck's on the board? How y'all feeling about this?
I color-coded mine.
Your strategy is colors.
Colors.
For my rainbow pick, I would like to, for what?
I was like, these are the ones I'd really like on my list. These are the ones that are my backups. And these are the ones that are batshit crazy. And I'll probably throw a couple on there anyway. So
okay. Yeah. All right. Then what about you, Mia? Did you come with any kind of ideas?
I talked to, I consulted with my attorney as we discussed. And, I came up with a strategy, which is probably, not that foreign to you. Seed, but
picking movies. If that's a strategy, then that's what I'm pretty sure you got it nailed.
As a former winner,
okay, okay, all right then. Well, we shall see. Sir, do you got any strategy like that?
I have a numbered list, and then I'll take it off whenever they inevitably get pulled from the list, and then I have like a hierarchy, and I have a couple wild cards at the end.
Okay, that's exactly how I do my drafts when I do these particular types. I usually come with about a 60 movie list and then whittle them down from there. But before we do anything, man, we got to figure out this draft order. For those of you who have never listened to one of these before, we are doing a fantasy football style draft in which we will draft science fiction movies, this being in honor of Dune coming out soon, if you're listening to this right when it goes up. So we're honoring by doing a sci-fi draft. So
I'm so excited for Dune.
We're so excited for Dune. We will pass this around the table. You can pick your number, and we will find out what order you draft in. It's going to be what we call snake order. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So on and so forth. Mia, what number are you? 3.
I'm number 1. I'm number 1.
Somebody is way too excited.
Sorry.
Okay. Mia 3, Carol 1, and young Winstead
I think that means you won.
2.
No.
Okay. All right. So, without further ado, Miss Coles, the board is yours. What is the first movie that you would like to pick so that we can chit-chat about?
Okay, so I have to choose this one because it is one of my favorites, and it is considered one of the all-time best, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Going early with what I consider the granddaddy
Yes.
of all science fiction movies. What is it about 2001 that you love so much?
I love Kubrick.
Okay.
I love his visual style. One of the most intense experiences I've ever had is watching 2001 in IMAX.
Ooh.
Just just kind of letting the movie envelop me. And I don't care what anyone says. I cry a little when Hal dies.
We all do.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like,
Just Carol rooting for the murderous robots.
murderous robot, but he has the mission's best interests at heart. He's just not programmed well.
Okay,
But
I'm
he's
pretty
very
sure
polite.
Ash from Alien also had the mission's best interest
They're like
in
the
heart.
Norman Bates of space. They're very personable.
He's very personable and very nice, and he just kills people. Well, he kills one person.
Kills one. I mean, one of two,
not like
but
really
you
not
know.
that bad.
Yeah. Is that your favorite scene of that movie?
No, I actually like the ending. I think the ending is very trippy, open to many interpretations, which is what I like about science fiction. A lot of the titles on my list are open to interpretation.
Okay.
And it's strange because the actors in the movie aren't great,
No.
but they seem like astronauts. So it's not, they don't seem like George Clooney in Gravity, where it's just like, hi, I'm George Clooney. and I'm in
That oozing
space."
term. Yeah, they seem like astronauts.
Yeah,
and astronauts to me always seem kind of cold and impersonal anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, so I believe them as astronauts.
Right on. Mia, do you have a preferred scene? When was the last time you watched 2001?
Oh, not long ago, actually, a matter of just a few weeks.
Yeah.
But that was on my list also. So congratulations for getting that right out of the gate. I can't say I have a favorite scene exactly, but I like the overall just etherealness, the end, what they thought futuristic stuff would be like.
Yeah.
You know, the feeding tube kind of thing, and
I love the freaking chairs.
when the
Weird.
lady walks,
I love the furniture in this movie.
Yes,
When
you got
she
the
walks-
weird little walking
Yeah.
montage
Yeah.
with the music playing over it.
right, and she just starts going horizontal. It's like, oh,
Dude, cats in
okay.
68 were like, yo, is this real? Effects can't do this. Joel, about you, favorite scene?
I saw 2001 for the first time when I was way too young, and I could not understand what was happening. I was like, why aren't they in space anymore? But I like it as an experience. I think every time I go to watch it, I'm like, okay, it kind of feels like homework, and then I watch it, and that starts to just kind of like wash over me, what Carol was saying. But not a favorite scene. Nothing stands out, but I like the ending.
Okay.
I'm there.
All right, right on. And with that being said, sir, it is on you. What is your first pick?
My first pick is what first came to my head when you asked me to be on the draft, and it's what stuck as my number one the entire time. And she didn't take it. It is Star Wars Episode 2 Attack. I'm just kidding.
I will be taking over Joel's spot for the rest of this
I
draft.
don't like
No,
sand.
it is.
What's your favorite part? The sand.
The sand. Just everywhere.
Empire Strikes Back. It is the quintessential Star Wars flick. It is the best Star Wars flick, and it is my number one pick.
All right, then talk about it. What is it about The Empire Strikes Back that really gets you?
Empire Strikes Back was what built my love of film. It is what showed me what movie magic was. It's what showed me what sci-fi was. It's what showed me what, friendship was. It was everything all in one. And I watched that movie on an endless loop. I wore the VHS tape out and had to go buy another one. I watched it on infinite loop. That and Twister.
Okay, shout out to 1995. I watched Jedi so much that my mom took the VHS and ripped the film out of the VHS. And said, I'm so tired of you watching this movie, so I had to scrape my pennies together to go buy a whole new box set just so I could have Jedi again. And then soon after, it became Empire that I was doing over and over. What is your favorite scene from Empire?
Oh, man. I always loved Hoth. Just anything on Hoth is just I love Hoth. I have an AT-AT tattooed to my body.
That's serious Hoth love right there. What about you, Mia?
Worst design ever for a
It really is. It's like, I feel like the engineers were like, look, we know functionally this makes no sense, but aesthetically, this is going to be our badass project right
Some
here.
Empire engineer's like, I like dogs. I like dogs a lot.
Can we make a giant mechanical dog, George? What's your favorite Empire there, Mia? What is it about that movie that gets you? Or is it your favorite Star Wars?
It is my favorite Star Wars, and that was also on my list. The overall sense of adventure in that one really captures me.
Yeah, I think that's I think of like Star Wars is like the most when it comes to adventure, and then right after that is Empire, and then Jedi. Like, yeah. As I got older, it's yeah. And what about you, Carol?
I love the whole bit with Yoda. Just the fact that you don't your first impressions are not always your best impressions.
In his case, intentionally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think as far as first impressions go, Yoda's he's a little shit, and I love him for it. Getting all up in Luke's business with his booty all wiggling in the air when he's in his
like a Jawa on steroids.
pretty much. All right, then 2001 is taken off the board. Empire Strikes Back is taken off the board, and Mia, you have the first of two choices.
Alien.
This lady does not mince words. She's like, I'm here for business, and that business is Alien. All right.
number
They
2.
call her Mighty Mia for a reason.
That would hurt.
Wah,
That
wah.
would hurt.
Someone's walking home. What is it
She
about?
drove home. Yes, I am.
She's gonna kick me out of my own car.
What is it about Alien? Why is that your first one off your list?
Oh gosh, when I think sci-fi, I think Alien. I mean, it's got, to me, it's more sci-fi suspense than it is horror. Sigourney Weaver is just amazing. The way they, the film, divides the cast. It's a good character study. I just love everything about that film.
Yeah, agreed. Carol, what's your thoughts on?
I like the fact that it's just a working ship. They're just blue collar workers on this damn ship. I love Yaphet Kotto in this.
He's like, I just try to get paid, man.
I just want my share.
I want my bonus. That's all.
Yeah, the realist.
Just want the bonus.
And there's a very real conversation. He's like, let's fucking talk about this before we
Before
start
I do
doing
any
anything.
work, I'm
Yeah.
going to talk about the bonus.
Right.
And the scene where the alien first comes down, where Harry Dean Stanton is looking for Jonesy,
Yes.
who is the true star of this film. But when he's just hanging there on the chains and then it just slowly comes down, that's a mesmerizing scene.
Yeah, shout out to Giger.
Oh, yeah.
My buddy named his cat Jonesy based off of that ridiculous ass cat. That cat got Harry Dean Stanton killed, and I will never forgive that cat. What about you?
Alien might be one of my top 5 favorite films of all time.
Okay.
I love it was my first introduction to space horror. Again, probably watched it way too young. And so like in the beginning, it's like you show the crew and you show the ship and it's kind of cool. And then like, there's this like sense of dread that builds. And then that little alien, like the face hugger is all up on him. And then he's like, oh, it was scary, but he's fine now. Like he's eating dinner.
Nothing to worry about.
We're fine. And then the dinner scene just goes on way too long. It's like that car scene where you're in a car and it keeps showing the person in the window. And you're like, someone's about to hit this car. The dinner scene was like, something about to happen.
And something sure as hell does happen, man.
And it was terrifying.
And thus film history was made off of that. All right, then, Mia, since we are snaking around, you get the first pick of round 2.
Wally.
Wally!
Yes,
Yeah.
also on my list.
Oh, okay.
You've got good taste, Joel.
I now have a quarter because that's the first time someone has said that.
I go out of my way to make sure I do not say it. So. Okay, then, Wally. I have only seen parts of this movie.
What?
Yeah. I don't tell you. So y'all talk about it. I don't know. What is it of the Pixar movies? Where does it rank at? Is it up there? Is it like middle of the pack? Or?
Yeah. I'm not going to say it's in my top 10 movies of all time, but it is definitely, obviously, in my top sci-fi movies. But it spans several genres. There's the family-friendly stuff, animation, romance.
Is romance in this movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, them robots, dude.
Robot love, man.
Robot love. Hey, man, I appreciate the robot love. All right, then. So you're saying that WALL-E's something that I need to check out.
You really do.
Yeah.
If you dig sci-fi, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then. I feel like WALL-E was like 08-ish, somewhere around there. I'm not quite sure. But whenever it came out, I was like, pass. That's not for me, I don't think. And over the years, people have been like, you ever seen WALL-E, you idiot? So, okay. But it was 8?
It was 2008.
Yes. Yeah, I'll get around to it one of these days. I'll put it on my Mia recommendations list.
Okay.
Carol, what are your thoughts on WALL-E?
I love the first chunk of this film where there's literally no dialogue because Wally doesn't talk really. He's just a little worker robot. He's cleaning shit up because we trashed our planet.
Oh, so we're definitely leading our lives towards
yes,
WALL-E.
he's a little garbage compactor. He goes and collects things and smushes them into cubes. And that's his job. And
Very
it's just-
organized cubes.
yeah, but then you go to his little home where he's collecting neat things. He finds little things that he likes. And then he watches old movies. And I'm like, oh, I like Wally.
He's a romantic. He just wants to have a girlfriend.
He holds his little robot hand.
He just wants another person to share his stuff with.
All right, then. Well, I think we can all relate to WALL-E in that case. What about you? What's your thoughts on WALL-E?
I'm with her. I'm with Carol. The cinematography and like the animation in the beginning it's pretty stunning. It's pretty great.
Yeah,
Okay, then. All right.
that's some of the best Pixar animation that they've done so far.
Hard agree.
Yeah.
All right, that's a wild statement right there. Interesting. Okay, cool. Then I will give it a fair shake. Joel, we are back over to you, sir.
We are going back to 1999 with The Matrix.
Matrix.
Oh, man.
All right, we are getting some solid lists built out here.
Another groundbreaking, revolutionizing science fiction picture
Yeah, that it is.
that everything has copied since. If you're doing an action scene, someone will be bending over backwards.
Yeah, that for a while that was a must.
Yes, it was.
Bullet time was everywhere.
Everywhere.
That
Best scene
first
is
came
the ending at the basement when they come out of when they go through the airport things that make the things go ding.
What? I've seen the
Metal
Matrix
detectors.
millions of times. And I have no idea.
They
what
go through the
you-
metal detectors and it's like ding, and then they drop the leather, and then it's a gun war.
Oh, okay. It's a gun war. That's like middle of the movie.
Is it not the end? Okay, I haven't
And
seen
he's got
Matrix
the
in a
whole
while.
fight with Smith and all that afterwards.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And then he becomes the one.
You got to become the one, yeah. But yeah, I feel like that's like when shit came out to DVD and it's like, oh, DVD, you can skip the chapters. Like everyone just bought the
Windows,
Matrix and went straight to that scene.
Yep. And at the end, when the little crumble comes off the pillar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. What about you, Mia? Were you as high on the Matrix as everybody else was in '99 when this movie first came out?
Oh yeah, I saw that in the theater. I don't know how many times. And like you said, Joel, it is groundbreaking with the freeze frame bullet, and then let's see this from all angles. Yeah, I just love that movie.
Right on. What about you, Carol?
Nobody's cooler than Lawrence Fishburne in this movie.
Nobody's. You know what? That's a fair shake.
In film or reality.
Or
Like,
real life.
that's
He's got
true.
that voice, man.
It's strange that a great sci-fi film starring Keanu Reeves exists, but
Yeah, you only got
plays
about
to
one or
his,
two.
it plays to his strong points of being kind of stupid and not knowing what's going on.
I have said that so many times. You need a clueless person for Neo. And Keanu Reeves kind of was that back
Nails
at the
it.
time. Nails it. It would have been a far, far different movie if they got the original casting of Will Smith and Sean Connery as Morpheus. Yes.
So you're making that up?
No. Sean Connery passed because he was like, I don't understand this. And somehow.
But you understood Highlander, sir?
That was a paycheck. That was a paycheck for him. Yeah, he passed on because he didn't understand. So he passed on Gandalf. Lord of the Rings blew up. Right before that, he passed on Matrix. That blew up. So he's like, I got to get in on this. So they gave him the Extraordinary Gentleman. He's like, all right, so this is the wave I'm going to hop on. And
Whoopsies.
that movie retired him from acting. Mistakes were made. The whole career was tanked.
If Douglas Davison were here, he would argue that Keanu Reeves in Bill and Ted Face the Music is the superior.
Yes. Yes, he would. Very good call with The Matrix. For the longest, for years, that was my number one film of all time until it was supplanted by a movie that may or may not be drafted. We'll see. Carol, it is on you for 2 picks.
Okay, so my first one is Ghost in the Shell, not
95.
the live
Scarlett
action.
Johansson, all right.
All right. Trapped in a tree.
The anime. Clarify that. And the subtitled anime.
Oh, yes.
To clarify that as well. I just love this story. I love the character of Bateau. I've watched just about every Ghost in the Shell iteration there is, including the Scarlett Johansson movie. But yeah, nothing beats the original anime, I think, as far as trying to question what exactly it means to be human.
Yeah, I've often said that the best science fiction explores humanity, right? And I think that's exactly what Ghost in the Shell does. And yeah, there's all the iters like the standalone complex and all that craziness. The varying levels of goodness, but you cannot beat the original. What did you think about the live action that we got?
Because I've read all of the manga and watched all the anime, I wasn't as insulted by the casting because the character of the Major regularly bought off the shelf models to put her ghost in.
Essence in.
So that didn't bother me so much. And nobody questioned the giant Swedish actor playing Bateau. It's like, he's actually still human in the series, but it's not as good.
Yep, that's the polite way of putting it. I would say awesome cinematography, but not as good. Mia, have you ever seen this jump?
Yeah. I saw Ghost in the Shell way back when it came out in the early 90s.
Yeah.
95.
95, I think.
And I loved it. It was beautiful. I love the story, but it wasn't something that I wanted to rewatch.
Yeah. It's one of those that you're like, okay, I've seen this. It's off the list now.
Right.
And you move on to the next thing. All right, right on. What about you there, sir?
I've never seen this film.
Never seen Ghost in the Shell, huh?
I apologize beforehand.
I'll just go ahead and put that on Poprika real quick. All right. Are you do you do anime at all?
I do not. I've never dipped my toe. Does Pokemon count as anime? Am I going to get hurt?
Just the fact that Carol laughed and didn't bother to answer the question. I'm going to go with the hard no.
I've never, no.
Nothing.
Nothing, not even, nope.
Okay, interesting. Now,
not that I wouldn't, I just don't know where to start because there's so many.
So much
and then I know
This is
like
a good place to start
It's-
as far as science fiction. I like I said, I recommend the subtitled version because
I
the
always
dubbing,
watch. I always watch. I know
the
what to
dubbing
dub.
for the Major in the English dub is just terrible.
I never do dub. I always subtitle.
Which is sad because Richard Epscar, who does Bateau, is a very good voice actor. But he's saddled with this person who can't inflict any emotion in her voice, and she's trying to voice act.
Yeah.
So I recommend the original Japanese.
So is that why they hired Scarlett Johansson to do that?
Yeah, they just, well, it worked in the dumb version.
God. Let that multi-Oscar nominee live her life.
Have you heard her Tom Waits album?
Yeah, I would say Carol is right. That's a good place to start, man, as far as sci-fi or anime in general. Like, I started with Ghost in the Shell and Akira.
I don't recommend starting
don't
with
start
Akira.
with- don't
Oh,
start
yeah,
with
just
Akira.
don't dip your toe.
Dive in head
Cannonball
first.
right in, man. Yes, my and Doug Davidson's thoughts on Akira are
I've heard your
well
thoughts.
documented. All right, then Ghost in the Shell. Good call. I do believe I had planned on drafting that in my draft, but someone stole it from me. What is your next pick?
Blade Runner.
Oh no!
You can have it.
No, it's
He
not your
says
favorite.
You can have it.
You can have it.
What does he know?
I'm not even
just wanted to
drafted it.
draft.
I'm like, oh God, I don't think about that. Talk about it. Talk about it.
Kind of goes with Ghost in the Shell is what exactly constitutes humanity. I just love the visual effects in this movie. I love the score. I just absolutely adore the score.
Yeah.
And I think this really kind of made what other sci-fi movies wanted to look like for decades.
By decades, you mean still to this day?
To this day.
Yes.
Do you mess with Blade Runner, Mia, at all?
I don't care for the original Blade Runner. No.
Oh, for those of you
don't-
not
I
watching, there was a
love-
fist bump.
I love the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because like I read the book, and I was we did like a book to movie class in college. I took.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I read the book, and I was like, this story's kind of dope, man. Let's watch this movie. And I was like, this just sucks, man. It's just so boring to me.
I wouldn't say it didn't bore me, but it disappointed me. Like, having that reference.
Expectations based off the
Yeah.
expectations are a mofo, man.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Thanks, Mortal
But
Kombat.
I will agree with Carol in that, it nails humanity, the question of humanity, what makes something human.
Yeah.
To this day,
More human
nobody
than
can
human.
agree whether or not Decker is an actual replicant.
I feel like
no,
Ridley
different
Scott has come
camps.
out and said it, and Harrison Ford's still like, I don't know.
no.
if I-
we don't care what Ridley says. We don't. He's the George Lucas of this. Like, just be quiet.
Sit down.
Philip K. Dick's just going to come out of the grave, and he's going to be like, this is what it is, and people still be like, nah, I don't know, Philip K. Dick.
No, Mr. Dick.
I don't know, sir. You get back into
Are
your
you
plot.
sure? Do you really know these characters?
Joel, do you...
Back to everyone's deep-seated want to fuck a robot.
Sean Young, how you doing? But do you get down? You get down with the Blade
Oh
Runners,
yeah,
right?
hard. Yeah. No, yeah. I like it a lot. Like I love the whole aesthetic. It's like it just needs like a saxophone at the beginning for like a moody like detective
Like a
noir.
noir?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Okay, well, you can, in place of that, you can have that crappy Harrison Ford narration if you want for
Yeah,
that.
hey,
for
that'll do.
That cut. He's narrating in B flat that entire time. Well, do you have a favorite scene in that? Is it the Tears in the Rain monologue? Is that the favorite for everybody?
No, not me.
You say that with such disdain.
No.
I don't
Can you not
understand.
cry
man.
during? Can you not cry?
I cried because I was like, I could have been doing anything else. Well, yeah, what would be your favorite scene there, sir?
Man, where do I start?
Uh-oh.
Nothing happened.
You heard nothing, listeners.
Blade Runner is one of those movies where I really, really dig it, like start to finish. I like his interviews, especially when he's sparring with one Sean Young.
Yeah.
And as a whole, I really like it a lot.
What about you, Carol? Do you have a preferred scene?
I do love everything about the film,
Thanks.
but when the police chief is describing the replicants and he gets into this like film noir, talk about Beauty and the Beast versus both.
All right, fella. Hey,
It's just,
so this is a job.
I just love the way everybody acts in this film.
Okay.
It's like a whole thing.
It's the whole thing.
Whole thing.
That's probably what I don't like about it the most.
I even love the way Daryl Hannah flops like a dead fish when she gets shot.
That's a bit overselling it. I'm like, oh, okay, so we're WWF in this movie, are we? Okay.
We don't know what kind of synapses are firing in a robot brain.
All right, then. Joel, it is on you,
Well-
sir. Your third pick.
Apropos, or not apropos, I'm going to go with Blade Runner 2049.
Man.
There it is.
Well, I do love Blade Runner. I do enjoy Blade Runner 2049 better. I think it's better directed.
It is.
This is better on every front.
No,
And
absolutely.
but that cinematography and that lighting, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm going to have to explain to people, I did not participate because everyone's going to think that
Right.
that's you're me. I apologize in advance.
Daryl gave me his list.
People have outright said the reason that we put it up anonymously is people have outright said if we know it's Daryl, we will not vote for Daryl. That's why I have to do this
Wow.
anonymously. Yes. And there's sometimes I have to draft things that make no sense for me to kind of throw people
would
off the
never
trail.
do that.
Yeah.
Blade Runner's on his list.
Yeah, there's
That's not
You know what? I drafted Blade Runner. That's one of the ones I drafted
Did
to
you
get people
really?
off the scent. Yeah. Talk
It
about
didn't work, but it did work. You
It
won.
didn't work. Man, listen, I know what I'm doing sometimes.
Congratulations, Mia,
2049.
on your win.
Do you have a preferred scene out of that?
Oh, the end.
Where he's meeting his daughter?
Oh no, I'm sorry. The one where he's on the steps.
Yeah.
When Ryan
Oh,
Gosling
very,
is on the steps.
very,
The
very,
very end. Yeah, because like the entire time I'm like, isn't it? Yes,
You're
no.
thinking,
And then
is
like, and then he finally found out, and I was like, oh, dude, that sucks. And also when he's in that little car that's like super white and has like the glass ceiling and it falls in the water, that's pretty dope.
That's my favorite.
That's the scene right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that joint is tense, man. When the water's filling up, you're like,
the
listen,
music is just
old man Ford's lungs can't take this, man. We gotta- that everything comes together for you in that scene, huh?
yeah, it's so good. So obviously we discussed I did not like Blade Runner, but I love Blade Runner 2049. It is. It was my number 4.
Yeah. Yeah. When I got my PlayStation 5, thanks, Poprikans, the very first Blu-ray or 4K that I bought was Blade Runner 2049. And I had to make like a whole plan. I was like, I just got to outlast Leslie so she can go to sleep and I can just enjoy this by myself
Watch
in
Dave
the
Bautista
dark.
in 4K.
Hey, look, man, he is growing on me, man.
that-
Dave
Those,
Bautista's getting
those
better and better.
glasses were way too tiny.
No, disagree, man.
They look
It's a
good on
look.
it. It's a
I can't
look.
see out those.
It's so
I don't
totally
care.
against type.
Big ass head and the tiny ass glasses. He literally had dimes in his eyes.
I love it.
What about you, Carol?
I actually was going to say my favorite scene is the one with Batista because it's just so against type. And I was like, oh my God, he's a scientist.
He is.
wants to
It is kind of against type for him. He's not all meat. Well, he still is kind of a meathead.
Yeah, he's kind of a meathead.
Throws a man through a wall, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
He has no neck.
Well, that's where all the science is stored at.
Yeah. I have so much science in me.
Grow maggots out of my neck. All right, then. Good call, sir. Mia, it is over to you for your third pick, ma'am.
Tenet.
Ooh, a spicy call. Even though this is months away out from when we actually filmed this, that you're hearing it, Tenet just hit HBO Max yesterday.
Yeah.
I watched it today, as a matter of fact, while I was working.
So good.
It's so good. It's so good. What are you a Chris Nolan fan? Generally?
I am. I was a big fan of his when I was in college. So he was just doing like independent short films and stuff back then. And once he got into Batman, I was like, not so much of a fan.
Oh, come on now. You're blatant disrespect to comic book movies. Will not
How
be
can you not love
abided by
Bane?
on the show. This is the meathead show all of a sudden. But in between each one of those,
Tenet,
you get a
probably
good one. Tenet brought you back, huh?
Yeah.
All right, then.
I loved. I don't often like a time travel movie, but this one they just do it so well. It's so neat.
It's fresh.
Yeah.
It was fresh. I'll give it that.
Clever.
Definitely. Yeah, it's clever. And even if, a lot of people are like, I saw it, I didn't understand it, which I kind of was that way the first time. And then the second time I was like, okay, just need to watch it again. It all made sense. It's a movie worth watching in theaters if you ever get that chance.
And it stars a 7-foot-tall woman.
9 feet of that 7 feet is her neck. Elizabeth Debicki is scrumptiously tall, and I love her for it. Carol, what is your favorite parts of Tenet? I got to see this with you, as a matter of fact.
because we went to the theater. The lead actor's name. I know it's Denzel Washington's kid.
Yes, he signed his
John
contract
David.
as Denzel Washington's kid. The ink is right there. They're like, sir, you have a first
He
name.
has 3 names, so Denzel Washington's kid. I mean, it works.
It works. I can't remember his first name.
John Dave.
John Dave. I think his entire performance is excellent. I think I said in my review of it that if they ever cast an African American as James Bond, he would be my top choice. I think the American in that would probably be the most obvious drawback, but
Yes.
I think he's perfect for those suave debonair roles. I just really liked Tenet. It's a really good film.
It's a really good film. They're like, John David Washington is the lead, is the new Chris Nolan. I was like, he casted a black dude. Finally got some shit. Man, that was hype. That was hype, man.
I do want to know what Christopher Nolan has against Tom Hardy's mouth.
Just cover this up as many possible ways as we can. Whether he's a fighter pilot or he's Bane.
You will not take the mask off.
Because I'll give you one in Inception. That's all I'll give you. What about you in Tenet, man? You dug that movie?
Yeah, I dug it. I got the 4K, so the stuff on the yacht and Kenneth Branagh's yacht.
When did he change his? This is like Van Gogh. When did he?
He directed Hamlet, so it's. But when Elizabeth Debicki is like planning his like demise, and she's like soaping up everything, like it just looks beautiful.
Yeah.
She's planning a murder.
She's like, I'm just
that-
gonna make this a little bit slippery.
I understand that she didn't like this dude, but that still kind of bugs me, man. I'm like, the fate of the fucking world is at stake, and you can't hold your hate in for another
like,
2 minutes, man. Man.
I've been divorced. I know.
Yeah. It's understandable. It's understandable.
No, but the when they finally reveal who was actually fighting against them, and it's the future or the old future versions of themselves.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's nice. There's a couple nice little late reveals at the very end, and you're like, okay.
When they're first driving down the highway the first time, John David Washington is glitching. I just want to point that out.
Really?
The first time, and he's like on the side of that semi truck.
Yeah.
He glitches a little bit.
Huh.
Like for real.
Huh.
He does.
Wait, I'm gonna.
You have to watch it again.
Yeah.
you have to
Pull
watch
that
it
up
again.
on
Yes, I'll
HBO.
have to watch it again. I got HBO Max on the phone real quick. Y'all proceed with amongst yourselves. All right, very well done, Mia. And your second joint to kick off round 4.
Oh, it's back to me again.
Yeah.
Inception.
Ooh,
Oh man.
double Nolan.
Double Nolan.
A
Yeah.
double Nolan. We haven't seen the likes of a double Nolan in years. Okay, then.
How
Tenet
many
and
years
Inception.
were there between Tenet and Inception? Do you know?
Inception is 2010 and Tenet's 2020.
That's
Yeah,
10 years.
Thank you for doing that math for me. That's really helpful.
That's why I'm here.
Get out. Get out. A lot of people thought for the longest that Tenet was a sequel to Inception. That did not happen, unfortunately.
That would've been
it would have been super sweet. Why Inception? How does it grab you?
It's imaginative. It really puts you in the world there, especially with when the buildings flop on their side and come towards you, and
Which we've seen now like 10, 15 more times.
Yeah,
I know.
thanks, Doctor Strange.
It's- That is the Matrix of the 2010s.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Doctor Strange dope.
yeah, and just the idea of, we can't torture people for their secrets anymore. Let's find another way to do it. We'll steal them out of their dreams.
That's
man.
the wildest, wonkiest idea.
Which basement was that conjured in?
How much
There were so
blow
many
was
people
done?
with me.
We just got to get in their dream.
Yeah. As soon as they're like, this is a synopsis, I was like, oh, put it in my veins, man. Just hook me up to that machine that they all get hooked into, and I'm all there for it.
The actors sell it, though.
100%.
Yeah. Who was your favorite of that ensemble cast? Is it Leo? Is it Elliot Page? Is it a little bit of John Gordon-Levitt?
It's
Or Joe Gordon-Levitt?
Joseph?
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, he's my favorite too, Arthur. What about you, Carol? Who was your favorite of that ensemble cast?
I like Tom Hardy.
That was
No hesitation.
No matter
showed
what
his
my
mouth.
question was going to be, that was going to be a response. What are you doing next Tuesday? I
like
love Tom
Tom
Hardy. This is the most charming I think we've seen him on film
Yeah.
that I can think of.
Oh, come on. Star Trek Nemesis?
I saw it once in theaters, and I vowed I will always have a gap in my Star Trek movies at home because I'm never watching that movie again. I think Tom Hardy's got that. He's got the shine in that movie.
I love the fact that it's an ambiguous ending.
Oh, so many think pieces. So many think pieces came out.
It's not ambiguous.
Oh, it's not.
We about to throw down.
This table's
Daryl was about to
go
rip
through
off his headphone.
What do you think it is a very clear ending to this movie?
Yeah, when he's in a dream, his totem never wobbles, like ever. And
Okay.
at the end of Inception,
We get a little wobble.
it does a little wobble. So it's like,
Okay. A little.
I mean,
wobble.
there's no
Light.
room for interpretation unless like the table itself had like a little indentation, but then you're just like grasping at straws.
What you didn't realize is an earthquake happens as soon as he starts spinning his stop. It's in the script. Who was your favorite of the ensemble cast?
Probably Leo, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt was great. Elliot Page, probably my favorite of her roles.
Yes, agreed.
But the best scene is where my jaw was on the floor in the theater. I watched this movie like 5 times in the theater. It was when they're in the hallway and it's turning.
The Joseph Gordon-Levitt fight?
Yeah, the fight in the
So
hallway at the
good.
hotel. That is one of the coolest fight scenes of all time. Hey, another draft, best fight scenes.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, yeah, mine's going to be all old kung fu joints. All right, then, Joel.
Jackie Chan all the time.
Okay, police story 2, Rumble in the Bronx. Joel, it is on you.
Okay, after this, who goes?
Carol goes twice after this. So strategize accordingly.
Oh, no. I might throw in...
Don't forget, Jupiter Ascending is still out there.
Okay, why are you saying my picks out loud?
Oh, sorry.
That
That was your wild
Dogman
card
in
right
it.
there.
It's like the sequel to Spaceballs. I'm going to go with a movie that is definitely sci-fi. It's a lot of fun. It's underappreciated in the mainstream. Probably not in Poprika. It's probably very much loved. But I'm going to go with Edge of Tomorrow.
Ooh.
Or Live, Die, Repeat.
There's someone's vote I know you will not get. But yeah, well, that I do believe we all avoided that the first time we did the sci-fi draft because it's got the Tom Cruise funk on it.
Oh, I don't.
And so there's
I like
people that
Tom
are like,
Cruise. I'm
It's the least
sorry.
Tom
Please vote
funky
for
as
me.
Tom
I like
Funk.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it's not the least cruisy funky movie.
yeah, like he starts off a complete fucking coward, which you don't see really out of Tom Cruise. And, he grows into the Tom Cruiseness at the very end.
Of course, he's running. You see him run.
But at the very end, you're like, this is kind of a dickhead. Have you seen this movie, man?
I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Well, there you go.
No, actually, I only heard of this movie in studying to be on this podcast and looking up other people's lists.
Gotcha.
That's
all
before
you know
that.
of it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you'd actually really.
Is it one of those like, are you one of the anti-Tom Cruise people? And when it came out, you're just like, I'm not going to watch that. Or it just got by you somehow.
Well, it got by me somehow, but I did see the trailer for it, and I do think I would like it. It looks like
I mean,
it
even
would
if you
appeal to
don't
me.
like Tom Cruise, he dies a lot.
It's the
So
best
many
video
times.
game movie that's not based off a video game.
And Bill Paxton, rest in peace, like chews him out the whole movie.
Yeah, it does. And it's one of
You're
my
selling
favorite
it.
Bill Paxton joints. Like
So
he's
good.
so hamming it up, and he's enjoying himself so much in that movie.
100%.
I would say give that one a look. See there.
It has a bitch of
Edge of
Verdine.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow. Emily Blunt is fantastic.
Yeah.
If for anything, support Emily Blunt.
That was my first exposure to Emily Blunt was this movie, and I was like, "Who is this actress? I like."
You never
her.
watched The Devil Wears Prada?
No, I've never watched Devil Wears Prada, sir. That was supposed to be our Black Widow. Unfortunately, scheduling conflicts gave us Scarlett Johansson or a tree. Carol, what do you get down with the Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah, I actually did. I enjoyed that very much. It was on my backup list. I like it because Tom Cruise dies a lot.
What
not to
about
love?
the plot of the movie? Do you enjoy that at all?
No, it has. I actually read the book after I saw the movie because I enjoyed the plot so much.
Would it have been in your top tier if Tom Hardy was in it?
If Tom Hardy was in, yeah, probably.
I can see Tom Hardy in that role.
I could definitely see Tom Hardy in that role. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. His mouth is never obscured, though. I don't know if he would take it.
Ooh, that's very serious to Carol's. mouth ratios.
That's right.
Okay, Carol, what was the first of your 2 picks, man?
Okay, so I'm bringing it down a bit here. Children of Men.
Oh man,
Oh, yeah,
good pick.
no laughing
Good
and
pick.
joking about this
That is
shit.
a heavy hitter.
Hilarious.
I will say I love the fact that Clive Owen kind of saves humanity while wearing dollar store flip-flops for the majority of the time.
Listen, however you get the job done, man, you get
Right.
the job done.
And I absolutely adore Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Yeah, pull my finger.
His last words on her pull my finger.
Yeah, it's a very serious
Jasper
movie.
dies, I cry.
Yeah.
And
It's a
I
good
like
one.
Key. I like the fact that she's not this kind of Virgin Mary type thing. She's just, I don't remember the wanker's name. She's just pregnant.
What about you there, sir?
Oh yeah, this movie is fantastic. Are you asking my best scene? My favorite scene?
No, just your thoughts on the movie.
Oh,
in general.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
I think everybody's favorite scene is like the
one shot.
Yeah,
The one shot.
Yeah.
The one shot.
100%. If you get the Blu-ray or maybe even the, I don't know, the behind the scenes of that shot and what they did to get it done is as good as the shot. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, there's a YouTube, like a 20-minute YouTube joint, which might just be ripped from the special features. And that is, I watched it like 2 days ago, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Just scrolling through, yeah. Have you seen Children of Men?
I have, yeah. It's on my list.
Yeah? Yeah. How far down on your list was it?
16.
16? All right, yeah. I think nobody drafted that on the first draft. That's a heavy joint, man.
Sad.
mean-
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carol did say, I'm going to bring it down here. So, you know, 'cause
She
it is-
prefaced.
It is a downer, but it's just so good.
That was the first big upset, if I remember correctly, in the Poprika brackets when it got beat by Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, and some people raged.
As much as I love Star Trek II, and I do love Star Trek II, I could recite Star Trek II. I think I did rage because it's just so incomparable.
I voted for Children of Men in that.
I voted for Star Trek too. I think it comes down to which one do you prefer? Do you prefer just a solidly well done movie or just a fun movie?
Or do
that
you like Khan?
Yeah.
Or yeah. Sorry you had to rage, Carol. What is your 1, 2, 3, 4? So your 5th pick to begin rounding out the first half of your list.
Going way, way, way back, Metropolis.
But whoa! Shout out to our boy Fritz.
I visually love this film. There's not much else to it because it's silent.
You can't. What else is there
What
to
else
say?
is there?
The vocal acting is it's stunning from first frame to last frame. I love it.
Yeah, right on. I dare say that you will be one of the people like constant drafter Pete who drafts good movies that Poprikans don't know about.
That's
Nope. This is where Pete comes to die.
It's so many times that man will never
I
win.
went into this thinking I'm going to choose the ones that I choose, and if I lose,
and
I
you sleep
lose.
well
Right.
at night.
Follow your heart.
Yeah, listen to
Listen to
your
your
heart. Yeah, Metropolis will be the oldest film drafted here. I do believe
Yet.
possibly the oldest film drafted in draft yet. Have you seen this old German Joe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, it served as inspiration for everything.
About everything.
Yeah. Good,
This
good
is
choice.
if 2001 is like what I call like the granddaddy of sci-fi, like the granddaddy's granddaddy was watching.
The ancestor.
Yeah, was watching
I
Metropolis.
will say the last time I saw this was I was playing it at Con Carolinas last year. I was programming director, and George R.R. Martin was our guest of honor. And I had to drag him out of the screening to get to his signing because he just plopped his ass down. It's like, I haven't seen this in years.
Did you have a team of horses helping you?
It's like, sir, we need to go.
Gotta go. Yeah, that was the year before I got here, man. I'm still upset that I missed old George, although I've bumped into him elsewhere.
Yeah, he's interesting.
He's a wild dude, that George. All right then.
Right.
Joel.
Right, George, right.
Listen, man,
And
just
we're not going to get it.
yeah, no, I disagree. We will get this next book. We just won't get the one after that. Joel, what is your 5th pick to round out the first half of your list?
I'm gonna go with, boy, oh boy. I'm I'm gonna go with my second Denis Villeneuve. I'm gonna go with Arrival.
Ooh.
That was high up on my list.
Irreval. Yeah. Talk about it, sir.
Arrival is. There's only a few like pure science fiction movies that have made me like weep, like ugly cry.
Yeah.
And Arrival is like at the top of that. Like just ugly heave cry. There's a lot of heart and a lot of emotion, and there's I love the story. I love the layers. I love how Denis presented it.
Yes.
There's so many ways it could have been done, and he definitely chose the best way.
Yeah. Out of the 14 million and some odd ways, Denis chose the one.
It was the one.
Yeah.
It was the one. And Amy Adams.
Well,
I'm sorry, was that audible?
I wanted to describe what I saw.
No need. No need.
Use your visuals, Poprika. Use your imagination on that.
Don't even do that. No, Amy Adams. This might be my favorite Amy Adams role. She's so good in this, and Hawkeye is pretty good too.
Yes. I saw Nocturnal Animals, and I was like, oh, Amy Adams is that business. And then I saw Arrival, and I was like, that shit, she's top of the. She is my favorite actress.
This is it.
Yeah, this is that movie is what cemented Amy Adams for me as my favorite.
Have you seen Doubt?
Yes.
Doubt was my favorite Amy Adams, and then this kicked it off. But Doubt is
That's pretty legit too. Shout out to Viola Davis.
Oh, yes.
What did you think about Arrival there?
This was high on my list. I posted on Facebook the other day that why do all my favorite sci-fi movies make me cry?
Saw that.
Because I had watched Children of Men, followed by this one,
Wow.
followed by another one that made me. That's probably going to be on my list that made me just hardcore cry, and I was like, "What am I doing this to myself?"
just in mourning the whole week.
Paprika.
I love the alien design, and I love the alien spaceship design. And I kept screaming. The first time I watched this, I kept yelling at the screen. Well, not yelling, in my head because I was in the theater, but I was like, they went to isolated areas. They're not here to show force.
Right.
This isn't Independence Day where they're just coming over San Francisco, people.
Independence Day, a sequel to District 9. You can't tell me any different.
I could try and tell you
I
different.
I can try.
But yeah, I just love the visual aspect of this movie. And I am not a huge Amy Adams or Jeremy Renner fan,
Okay.
but I love them in this film.
That's it. You got Villeneuve, man, directing. You got a massive director doing it. Mia, what do you think about Arrival?
Listen, I have
Oh boy.
I have the best roommate in the world, and she went to see this movie and said, "This is a great movie. You can't ever watch this."
You will cry.
And
You
I
will.
was dating a gentleman, and he rented it, not knowing what he was about to get into. So Joel said he was ugly crying. I was watching this with my boyfriend at the time, and he turned it off. He said, we can't go any further. I'm worried about
Yeah,
you.
it's one of those you can't catch your breath. You're like,
Yeah.
You're losing
Yeah.
fluids, ma'am.
That's where I was. Yeah. So, I did see it ultimately to the end. And it's a beautiful film, but I wasn't going to put it on my list. I was like, I can't. I just
I can't
can't.
invoke those emotions.
I just.
Yeah, that movie is all parts wonderful and amazing. Well directed, well acted, well shot, well paced, well everything. And that's why I have high hopes for Dune. Mia, it is on you, ma'am.
Okay.
What will be the movie that rounds out the first half of your list?
I'm thinking about reordering my list now based on what I've put on here.
Mike Tyson, man. He said it best. Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face.
No, I'm gonna go with it. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Ooh, not bad at all.
also on my list.
Also on my list.
That was one that was on my list when I did this the first time. I do believe it when it undrafted, though. Yeah, what about this movie gets you?
I was the first time I watched it, I was very confused as to like what's going on here. And then it took me the second watch to, well, obviously in the first watch I figured it out at the end, but you know, just the love story of it, the idea that here's this couple and they're not meant to last forever, but they still choose to be together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something sweet about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And
enjoy the time you spend together. However it goes, there's still good times there.
Yeah, and I love the camera trickery too. Just film nerd
Yeah.
as far as that goes.
Yeah, like the scene of Jim Carrey in the oversized sink being washed cracks me up every time.
I love
Carol,
him under the table. I want my son.
you gets down with this movie?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was high up. It was pretty high up on my list. I love this film. I love Clementine.
Yeah, it's my favorite Kate Winslet.
Yeah, she says something in the movie that's kind of stuck with me, and I know I'm paraphrasing here. It's like, I'm not here to complete you. I'm not here to fix you. I'm just a fucked up chick trying to figure out my own problems.
Mm-hmm.
And that spoke to me very, very much.
Right, right.
Yeah, I love Charlie Kaufman's writing. My favorite movie of 2020 was I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Oh, that was number 7 on my list, I do believe.
So whenever I see written by Charlie Kaufman, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in for it.
Yeah, so I absolutely adore this film.
Joel, did I'm Thinking of Ending Things make your top 10 of 2020?
Nope.
Yeah, that's one I revisited a couple times. What's your thoughts on All Eternal Sunshine there?
I really like Eternal Sunshine. I'm not a big Michel Gondry fan. There's some, I like Be Kind Rewind, but that's probably where it ends.
Yeah.
But this is the one I get with the most. Also, one of the only narrative features where there's a lead character named Joel.
Yes, that is true. That is true. This is the first movie I remember seeing Ruffalo in, and I was like, "Oh, this is such a sweet dude," and I feel like that's kind of who Ruffalo actually is. Like he kind of portrays those sweet characters best. And a little bit of creepy Elijah Wood action in there too, which is kind of how I think how Elijah Wood is as well.
Yeah, he's so little. He would have made a better Gollum.
Also, Steve Buscemi was not available.
That's right.
What's in your pocket? What's in your pocket?
Very good choice, Mia. So we are halfway through, man. Let's keep this bad boy rolling. And Mia, it is on you again to start off the second half of these lists.
Galaxy Quest.
Not on my list, but fantastic choice.
Yeah, it was not on my list either.
It's a fun movie, and you know, when you really analyze it film wise, it's got everything. It's got really good music. It's got a great cast. It's got
Tim Allen.
A mostly good cast.
Incredibly stoned Tony Shalhoub.
It's fun. It's entertaining.
Yeah, a lot of people say that this is one of the best Star Trek movies. I feel like that's an incredibly ridiculous statement. It's just a good movie on its own accord. Mm-hmm. Carol, what do you think about it?
I love Galaxy Quest. It was on my second tier. I love Sigourney Weaver's character. It's like, I have one job. It's a stupid job, but I'm going to do it because for so many Star Trek fans, those early TOS episodes where it's just like, will you please let the women do something besides wear short skirts and say hailing frequencies open?
Right.
Yeah. And then get struck with the horny bug.
Yeah. Or be the pawn of the bad guy.
Right. So, I love Galaxy Quest.
Okay. Well, what about you there, Joe?
I really like it a lot. My first introduction to Justin Long and Sam Rockwell.
Right.
And my favorite part of Galaxy Quest, and it gets me every time, is a small little scene when the humans are looking for, they've lost something. I can't remember what it was. And the aliens are with them, the little like guys with the Dumb and Dumber haircuts. And they're looking for something, but they're still like in gravity time. So like looking in the sky, like looking like up in the air.
He's looking for his shoe, his other shoe. And they're just like
they're looking at the ceiling. Oh man, it gets me every time.
Yeah, that's a movie that I haven't watched in a while, but is worth a revisit. Good choice, Mia.
Thank
Good
you.
choice. I come out with a strong list here. Joel, it is on you, sir.
So I would be remiss. I don't know if anyone's going to steal this or not because this is one of the. So when Daryl, was it before we were recording when you were bitching at me, or was it after we were recording about asking all that? I asked a lot of questions about what comes.
I think it was
what's-
before.
is this sci-fi? Okay, so never mind. Daryl had nothing but praises to sing about me. This movie, it's not set in space. It's totally set on Earth the entire time, but there is science and there is fiction. This is my favorite movie of all time. This is Jurassic Park.
And you have just identified yourself on this list here.
This is
Talk about it for a while.
This is my. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about it for a long time. Hey, get me one too. Yeah. Don't hit the microphone on your way out. He totally did that. Jurassic Park is. So I have a lifelong love of film since I was in diapers, and Jurassic Park and Empire Strikes Back, but Jurassic Park was the movie that opened my eyes to what a movie can be. Mm-hmm. And it had the wonder, it had the awe. Plus, I was like a little kid, and it had dinosaurs. It was terrifying. I couldn't hold my head out from underneath the blankets when the T-Rex escapes for the first time. I couldn't do that for like the first 20 times I saw the movie. It was everything I wanted it to be and so much more. And because of that, I'm a lifelong Spielberg fan. And because of that, I wanted this to be my number one pick, and I was like, I'm going to go in there and pick Jurassic Park, and it's my number one pick, and I was just like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Daryl would make fun of me for too long.
Yes, I would have, and I 100% assumed it was going to be your number one pick.
It was going to be. I had every intention of doing that, and then I was like, well, Empire also fills that role. So, but yeah, Jurassic Park, which is my favorite, every single one.
There you go. Done and done.
But also when the T-Rex escapes.
What about you, Mia? Do you dig on the parks?
Yeah, that was on my list. Were you questioning whether or not it was science fiction?
Well, yeah, he did that. He certainly did.
Let me defend myself.
Oh no, I totally think it's science fiction.
Well, no, look,
absolutely.
Okay, so I know it's science fiction, but I didn't. When one thinks of science fiction, one conjures spaceships in space, and 2001: A Space Odyssey and things like that.
Right.
You don't necessarily go to
Animatronics.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But it is science. It is fiction. It's fine. All right, fine. All right. Everyone
Like
make
I
fun
said
of me.
to him when he asked me, motherfuckers took DNA out of this shit and put it in this shit and made this shit. That's science fiction, man. That's what it is.
I'm sorry,
Dinosaurs.
I didn't think that you were going to get attacked when I asked you that.
Okay. My defenses were up.
But yeah,
I was like, Leslie, look at this dude there. Just sit out right here. Right here, read this.
I saw this movie when it came out. I don't remember what year that was, but I was a child.
1993. Thank you.
Okay, so I was 12.
Yeah.
It opens the door with wonder and then keeps you in with suspense, and you're just on the edge of your seat.
Opens the door, wonder, a guy yelling, shoot her!
And then there's Newman.
There's Newman. Which I say at work all the time. You didn't say the magic word. Carol, what is your favorite scene of the park?
Oh gosh, probably when the T-Rex escapes. Yeah, because that holds up, man. All of the effects in this movie hold up so freaking well. Mm-hmm.
Even the full CGI stuff.
Yeah, it's astounding how well it holds up. Not to be the Debbie Downer of the group, but this was the last movie my dad saw in a theater. He wasn't a big moviegoer, but he went out to go see this film.
He's like, it's Crichton. I'm
because
he knew it wouldn't get any better than
It wasn't going to get any better than that.
I'm sorry. All respect to your father.
He passed before Crystal Skull, and that would have been his next movie. So we can all just be thankful.
Oh, he went on a high note. Yeah. You know what?
When I go, I want Jurassic Park to be the last one that I watch. 100%.
Yeah, that's not a bad way to go out, actually. All right, then. Carol, keep this upbeat train rolling.
Nope, it's Joel.
Joel just picked
Oh,
Jurassic
it's just
Park.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
on
I'll go again.
you
No, I'll
for-
go again. All right.
No,
take me in.
okay.
You for a 2-pick now.
Okay, I'll hold off my Debbie Downer.
How can you get more down
on this list? Jesus Christ. You can't get The Handmaid's Tale as a TV show.
Schindler's List is not science fiction.
but I did choose Steven Spielberg, Close Encounters of the Third
Oh,
Kind.
nice. Also on my list.
Yes.
Obviously.
That's the first movie date of me and Leslie.
Really?
Yeah, she came to visit, and it was a whatever 30th, 40th, whatever anniversary
I
in
love
theaters
this
at
film.
that time.
This is another one where the effects really hold up.
And the John Williams score.
Yeah. Yeah. And Richard Dreyfuss just being clueless, everyday dude
Just
building
being-
mountains out of potatoes.
This means
Arts and
something.
crafts.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's arts and crafts at the
This
dinner
means
table.
something. This
Yeah.
means something. Yeah. Plus, little goofy aliens that they aren't here to hurt you.
Yeah, it's benevolent aliens coming down. Just say what's up, man. Let's talk through music,
Chasing
man.
you around and abducting children.
There's also that. Yeah, I gotta forget about that sometimes. Mia, what do you get down on? Like, this is like the Spielberg magic era. I feel like because it's like this Jurassic Park, E.T. was in here. Like of that era, how do you rank Close Encounters, man?
Very similar to
Excuse me.
another one on your list that I mentioned earlier that's escaping me right now. I'd seen it. I like it. Didn't care to watch it again.
Don't need to revisit anytime
No.
soon.
I had to study it in film school, so I think that was kind of like, it was a study piece.
When it feels like
I didn't-
homework,
yeah,
it's a little bit different.
yeah.
Okay, I can see that. I can get down with that. Yeah. To me, it is one of the better Spielberg movies out there, and a man who's got a repertoire that is a deep bag. I think this one kind of goes overlooked because a lot of people go to Indiana Jones or they go to Jurassic Park or they go to E.T. But yeah, I think Close Encounters is.
Ready
It
Player
deserves
One.
its respect. What? You will be awarded no more picks for the rest of this list. Good call on that Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And your next pick there.
Okay,
Carol.
let's bring it down again. 12 Monkeys.
Listen, man. Well, me. You talked about having to have like Close Encounters be kind of like a homework joint.
Yeah.
That same class where I had to watch the Blade Runners, our very next assignment was 12 Monkeys. And that's the first time I got to watch that movie. That's how I was introduced to it. And man, love this movie. What do you like about this movie?
This was back when Bruce Willis cared.
Yes.
It's this was the movie I watched after Children of Men. It's like, God damn it. I love Brad Pitt's just
Goofy.
Manic.
manic performance. I love Bruce Willis. I'm not a huge Bruce Willis fan, but like I said, this is back when he cared, and it shows because this is actually a really, really good performance.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Bruce Willis fan. Like, for me, it might be Die Hard and then this, possibly.
Not Sin City, Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
But that's
yeah.
he's part
He's
of
one
a huge,
drop of a whole ensemble.
ensemble. So as far as Bruce Willis starring vehicles, you watch, like I recently watched Glass, and because I watched the other two films I had to, and it was just so obvious he doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
And it was
like,
it
I
was-
thought that might be the one where he's going to care again on this one.
but they kept doing scenes where. And I kept thinking, well, why is he doing so good in these scenes? And then I realized, oh, those are cut scenes from Unbreakable back when he cared.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly what that was.
But yeah, I think it's a really good performance here of a guy who's just who just doesn't know if he's insane or if he's actually traveling back in time.
Yeah. What you dig on this movie there, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I have not seen
Army of the 12 Monkeys?
12 Monkeys in a long time. But this is the closest I'll see of Brad Pitt flinging poo. So
It's a cutscene in Inception or in Inglourious Bastards. So you gotta,
Inception. Peter pissed off the waste on his dying bed.
What you didn't know,
who just comes flying in a left field. Brad Pitt, what are you doing in this movie?
what you didn't know is there's a cutscene from Ad Astra where he's just flinging poo at the space monkeys.
Well, Tommy Lee Jones
Ooh,
is
those
a pretty
space- yeah.
cantankerous.
Yeah, right. So they haven't seen it in a while.
I have not seen this movie in a while.
Do you remember your first impressions of when you didn't check it out?
I was a teenager, so I thought it was, whatever the parlance of the time was rad.
Who's rad, guys?
really liked it a lot.
All right. Did you ever, Carol, check out the sci-fi show 12 Monkeys?
I did not.
Yeah.
It's probably way down on my list at this point, but yeah, I knew that there was a TV show. I just never really. I never watched it.
This is one of those ones they announce it, and I'm like, this shit's gonna get canceled after one.
Yeah,
It went for
like-
like 4 or 5 seasons, man.
I don't know
went
how
a
they're going to
ways.
do that because the 12 monkeys in the movie were kind of idiots.
Goofballs, yeah.
They let animals out of the zoo. I mean, that was their big thing.
Yeah, because that's kind of like the big reveal, right? Like the people in the future think they're something, but they're not really anything.
No, they didn't do
altogether.
anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one dude who
they-
releases all of the.
Bad guys in ponytails. From
Boy,
the
let me
80s,
tell
man.
you, I watched those viral movies, and it's like, yeah, we are that stupid.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. All right, Joel, is back over to you there,
Oh,
so.
man, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Oh, yeah.
So many choices.
Yeah, you gotta do a little bit of switching up, a little flipping it up, man.
I think I am gonna switch it up. We've talked a lot about this director today.
Going back to Michel Gondry already.
This was Michel Gondry. Was that movie about sleeping? I don't know. This is a movie that I did not like at all when I first watched it. I was like, I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't want to see any of that anymore. Interstellar. She fell asleep as I was saying it.
What's the matter with you people? Interstellar's one of the finest fucking films of the last 10 years.
It is so good. I watched this on opening night at midnight, and that was the wrong thing to do. I should not have done it.
You got home about 5 a.m., did you?
The following weekend when I got home. No, I didn't like it. I didn't like Murph. I didn't like when Matthew McConaughey was like stuck in the time portal where he's like touching
Their
things.
2001 business.
Yeah. That whole thing was just like, I was like, oh man, like I get it, but like I'm not into it. And then I like watched it again a couple of weeks later. I wanted to watch it again on the big screen before I left theaters, and it was a completely different experience. And it was everything it should have been the first time. But it's definitely a 2001. Not clone, but you know.
I feel it's a spiritual successor.
Yeah, it's definitely like if it's a cell, it kind of split off and kind of did its own thing. But it's
Mitosis. I bought that was the second 4K that I bought after I got my PlayStation. And the lady friend had never seen it, and I was like, "You are in for get your mentals prepared." She brought out the good bag of weed, and it is a joy to behold visually.
Yeah.
And I just like the movie. Now, Carol, you apparently have thoughts otherwise on Interstellar.
I thought it dragged.
Interesting.
I did like the little
You're being
robot.
so polite.
She just rages on the car ride home.
she's the J.K. Simmons slapping everyone. Not quite my tempo.
It didn't do it for you.
It didn't do it for me. I think maybe it's because it's Matthew McConaughey. I really wanted it to. Because I love Christopher Nolan, and I went into Interstellar thinking I'm going to love this, and it didn't click with me. Which is odd.
It didn't click with me either. Have you seen it more than once?
I have not, and
Okay.
maybe that is the thing because I haven't revisited it.
Here's the
To
thing,
me,
like it's a long movie, so it's
yeah,
like
hence my falling asleep.
I think I fell asleep the first time too.
yeah, it's like
And I joke, but I know it's not it's not the worst science fiction movie I've ever seen by a long shot, but
I mean, Plan 9 exists,
that's on my list.
but it just didn't do it for you.
just
Yeah,
didn't,
like usually if someone's like, I didn't like it watching, and I say, hey, rewatch it, one more time. But that's a long movie. If
I
you don't like it
probably
the second
should.
time, that's a waste of almost 3 hours.
Yeah, but I mean, I could knit while I'm watching.
There you go. Productivity for the win. Economy of movement.
You can do a lot of things watching that movie. Don't just
I could
You do
write the great American
6-minute
novel
abs
while I'm
30
watching
times while watching that movie. Mia, what's your thoughts on Interstellar?
I do like Interstellar. It's not one of my favorites. I didn't put it on my list. I did like the reveal at the end, but Yeah, that's it. I did fall asleep also.
Was I the only well-rested person going to this movie?
Yeah, you need to be well rested, drink a protein shake, like get into it.
Yeah, take your vitamin C pills. All right then. Wow. Now, Interstellar, not doing it for people here at the table. It's,
No.
surprising. Mia, it was on you for the first of your 2 picks, madam.
I hate to be redundant, but La Jetée is my next pick.
Who?
Can we
What?
do that?
What?
Sorry, did you sneeze?
What? What
Do
is this?
short films count?
Yes, they're a film. It's science fiction.
La Jetée is the French film that is the basis of 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Did you know
It
this?
is.
I've never heard of this in my life.
I've never
It
heard of
is
this in my life.
historically groundbreaking. It's the first film that has
12 monkeys in it.
They had 11.
Hollywood's like, we're going to up on one more. If the first one has what?
French, we can do better.
a moving picture because
What?
it is it's kind of still and then text and still
Yeah.
and yeah.
I gotta go to the wikis for this. I don't even know how to spell this joint.
It is. I admit it is a nerd pick here.
Yeah.
What year did it come out?
1949.
1870.
Yes. They're using mirrors.
No, it was kind of recent.
62? Yeah, 62.
62, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. I'll edit that 49 out for you.
Yeah, so I want it on my list. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna get like points for this or whatever, but for my satisfaction.
There's one person in Poprika that's going to be like,
Yeah, right. That's my person.
one person born in like
feel seen.
59. It's going to be Pete, probably.
yeah, Pete. He's like, why is this on number 1?
Right on. And this, so this sounds not, is French? Who is this?
Yeah,
French. Okay. All right then. Well, yeah.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I want
I'm
to
gonna
check
seek
this
it
out,
out.
man.
Yeah, it's actually, it's
right
really
on.
cool.
Yeah.
It deals with the kid at the airport, like 12 Monkeys does.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do the whole, I don't think there's actually 12 Monkeys in
No,
La Jetée.
no,
It deals
it's-
mostly with the
Just the one.
one character.
Yeah, and he's fixated on this memory to get him to the place where, you know, and much like 12 Monkeys, you don't know, is he insane or is he time traveling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. Right on. I can get down with that. Very nice. Very nice. So what is your, next pick, man?
Ex Machina.
Oh, no. My next pick. Oh, no. Oscar Isaac dancing.
I know.
So good.
You should dance in every movie.
So out of the blue, and I love it. Would that be your go-to scene for Ex Machina? Is Oscar Isaac dancing?
Oh, yeah.
Good, Carol, please. Dry your loins.
It is fun every time. It never gets old. But I think when she's in the hallway walking towards Oscar Isaac and he says, no, stop or whatever.
knife?
And she just books it
Oh, yeah.
in all her 88 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's just all of a
The
sudden.
camera
like,
adds 10
oh,
pounds.
shit,
Yeah.
no, she really is a threat.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
Yep. The ending when
Oh my gosh,
so
yeah.
Donald Gleason, I love Donald Gleason. I loved him before this movie, and so like he gets locked in that room, and I was like, my boy, he's gonna come out that room. he does not come out that room.
Spoilers for you, sir.
No, I was surprised by that too.
And he's like pounding on, and then she gets to walk out. And I was like, all right, okay.
Poor
But,
Mad Eye
man,
Moody's kid.
Yeah.
Poor Hooks.
Yeah, that's
Poor Hux.
poor General
The
Hug.
first time that has ever been uttered.
You're right. That is my very first screener. That's the first screener I ever went to. It was me and about 3 other people in that theater. And I'm so glad I decided to go because that movie is just, wow.
Oh, it's so good.
Good call. Very good call. Now, Alice Garland did this, and then he went on to do Annihilation. Of those 2, a movie. He did a movie. Anyways.
You might have heard of it.
Yeah, you might have heard of it. Which of those 2 do you prefer?
Oh,
Ex Machina.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, you make a face like that. I mean, for me, it's Annihilation.
I don't.
Okay.
For real.
I guess we will get to that at some point.
Not for me.
Not for you. There's 2 more spots. You might surprise yourself. Carol, do you get down the Ex Machina, man? What's
I do. I like Ex Machina.
Yeah.
I thought it's a really well told story. There's only like 3 characters in it. It's kind of
very
amazing.
minimalist?
Yeah, it's a very minimalist. He has a beautiful house.
Oh my God.
I mean, everything, man. Like the aesthetics of that house and the way that house is shot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I love good cinematography.
Right. It's the Amy Adams of houses.
This is the Amy Adams. There's a lot of red going on in that house, my friend.
I didn't see that coming back around. Good job for
They will never end.
Did you just say we have 2 left? Is that what
You have 2 left. Yeah.
But like, that's the end?
10. Everybody gets 10.
Holy shit.
Scramble
Okay.
mode.
Welcome to the infinite draft.
What do you think about that Ex Machina, sir? What scenes stand out to you?
I love Ex Machina. Ex Machina blew me away. I had no idea who Alex Garland was. I didn't know who Donald Gleason was. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know who
Oscar Isaac was.
Oscar Isaac or Donald Gleason or I'm trying to think
There's
of
a whole cast
this
right there.
girl's
His
name.
Alicia Vikander.
Vikander, yes.
Vikander, yeah.
It was my first introduction to everybody. And it was aesthetically very pleasing. It was a great story. It was a revenge film in a different point of view that I think I've ever seen. And it blew me away. I loved it a lot. I liked it a lot.
All right. Well done, sir. And well done, ma'am, for picking that bad boy.
Thank you.
I feel like somebody got that in the first draft. Can't remember who or where it went off.
It was
but
not Pete Lentz.
It was not. Yeah, it was. I can tell you right now. If it's a good movie, Pete didn't draft it. Let me see if I can go back. And
Yeah,
find that,
it was
find
he
that
had like the
list.
journey home like all 10 times. Right?
I think Land Before Time 10 times, please. That's science fiction, right? That's dinosaurs. Joel, it is on you, sir.
Oh man. Okay, so I didn't expect as many of my picks to still be on the board at this point.
That's the beauty of having
Okay,
three
three
players.
people. Yep,
Yeah,
three
having that
people.
fourth player is where
It's
you get
really
screwed.
throwing me for a loop.
You all have some strong lists.
I think I'm going to go with another movie that is entirely earthbound, and there is an alien involved. I'm going to say John Carpenter's The Thing.
I classify that far more as horror.
Yeah,
so it
I'm
was low down on my list,
hesitant.
but no,
Oh,
it's
come on.
an alien.
It's
an
science
alien.
fiction.
It's science fiction.
It's
You
science fiction.
you don't
It's
get to
science
argue
fiction, Joel.
science fiction when you ask me if Jurassic Park is
Well,
science
once
fiction.
I knew the baseline, then I knew how to argue.
Okay.
If dinosaurs are science fiction, so are aliens.
Same premise. You take the DNA from this shit, the DNA from this shit, you put it in.
You get alien DNA, dog DNA. You get that joint. One of the
Keith,
best endings in all of movies.
100%. And Keith David's the alien we're talking about, right? Right.
Keith David, man, has never gotten the respect he
No,
deserves.
I know. It's just sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Man, it's been a while since I've watched the thing. What digs you about this movie?
Oh, the horror
Yeah.
of it. When the head sprouts like 8 legs and starts walking around and it's like facing upwards. That's some serious demonic shit going on.
What about you, Mia? Do you get down on?
Oh, I love The Thing.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't list it already was because I was able to get Alien on this list.
Yeah.
Good call.
But yeah, The Thing is way up there for me.
Okay, yeah. And what about you, Carol?
That's my favorite John Carpenter film.
It might be my second favorite John Carpenter movie.
Right behind.
Escape from New York.
Okay, definitely
yes.
not. No.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm sorry. It goes The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China. They Live.
They Live is number 1.
I'm the only person on the face of this planet who loves Escape from New
I
York
like
as much as
Escape
I
from
do,
New York.
damn
That's
it.
probably number 6. It's above Halloween.
Oh, well, that's something, I guess. I will watch Escape from New York. You wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You're like, hey, I got cannolis. Let's watch
Cannolis and Escape from New York.
Yeah. All right. Just let me get dressed. Yeah, the thing is, I just watched it for the first time 2015, maybe? Halloween day. And I was like, I guess it's Halloween. I should watch something scary because I don't pass out candy because fuck them kids. I got the porch light turned off. And I was
Just
like, I'm
open
gonna
the door, eating candy.
what you want? Trigger. This is yours. I'm eating it right now. And I sat down and watched it, and I was like, this movie is damn amazing. I have not seen the prequel. Is that worthwhile?
No.
Okay, then. Moving right along.
I they had the right idea, but then the studio came in and screwed it all up.
Was it
There's
Warner
some
Brothers?
prequel apologists,
Yeah.
but you can skip it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The effects are, they came in and just overdid all of the practical effects with CGI, and it looks terrible.
Okay. Carol, it is on you for the first of your 2.
This is my number 8.
This is your 7.
No, number 7. Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're 8. You have
okay.
8, 9, 10 left.
Okay. Number 8. I'm going to take Annihilation.
Oh man, that was what I was debating with the thing on. Scary Scream Bear.
Yeah, you're a fan of this movie, right?
Mia has left the podcast.
The last 20 minutes of this film is probably the closest I've come to 2001: A Space Odyssey kind of immersion, going, holy shit, this is awesome.
You can really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because the last 20 minutes, that gives you her versus her clone of herself in the room.
Yeah.
Lady clothed in gold.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I went, when I saw this movie, it was just on a whim. I just went to the movie theater and looked at what was playing next, and it was a toss-up between Red Sparrow and Annihilation.
You chose right, my friend.
So many choices.
I was like, Jennifer Lawrence or Natalie Portman. But I had read Annihilation, and I was genuinely curious to see how they would adapt it, because the entire book takes place in her head.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this should be interesting. And boy, I walked out going, oh, that was fucking intense.
Yes, it is. It is
a little bit.
intense. Red Sparrow, not as good. As far as spy movies go, not good. As far as
That was a
movies in
spy
general
movie?
go, yeah. It's not really a spy movie when everyone shows their hand in every scene, which is one of my.
They
Anyways,
showed more than their hands.
yeah, I think it is for me my favorite Natalie Portman performance. I think it is a strong showing from Tessa Thompson. It's a strong showing from Jennifer Jason Leigh. Yeah, she's wild business in
shows
that,
up.
man. That whole cast is dope. Alice Garland,
Oscar
really.
Isaac?
For the 2 seconds he's on screen.
My favorite 2 seconds.
No 2 seconds have gone by
I was
slower.
channeling Carol. Sorry.
It's her
I
also
actually like
dry
the
your
fact that
loins.
this has a bunch of strong women in it.
Yeah.
That all have issues, but they're dealing with their issues.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those issues manifest in all
Yeah,
sorts
in
of
all
different
sorts
ways.
of
It
weird
kind
ways.
of comes back to screws them, but that's still a dope movie, dope sci-fi, and dope visuals. Mia, what is your issues with this film?
I just could not get into it. It
Yeah?
bored the shit out of me. I wanted to like it. I wanted to like be feminist. Yes, we got this female cast, but I don't like Natalie Portman.
Ooh,
Straight out the
no.
gate.
hot take.
I don't think you're
boy.
supposed to, actually.
You mean
No,
like in
I
this
don't like
movie
her.
or
I don't
in,
like
in
her
general?
Her
acting
in general.
skill. Yeah.
Ah, okay. That Padme Amidala just never sat right with you.
She dies of a broken heart.
Who cares that she just had 2 kids? Neither love. Who cares?
But you just couldn't glom onto any of the characters, man. Couldn't get down with it.
No,
All right, then did you make it all the way through the end of that movie?
with some encouragement.
Booze.
What did you think of the best scene of the movie, the scary Scream Bear?
I
Nothing?
was like,
Nothing on the meter?
No.
Man, I was looking real serious at the exit when I was watching that movie. I was
Were
like,
you
"This
really?
is." I'm a big wuss. I don't know if you knew this. I've only seen as much scary stuff because Carol has manipulated me many times.
And that's how I watched the end of Annihilation.
Puppet Master Coles has revealed her grand schemes. I'm a little bit queasy and squeamish at times, and that for some reason
That bear was just frightening.
it's unnerving to me. It's very unnerving. I was like, I'm not comfortable at all right now, which is what you're supposed to be. Is the Scream Bear
Maybe that's one I need to rewatch.
just rewatch that scene.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, just type in
go
Google
Right before
scary
bed.
Scream Bear.
No, don't do that. Do you want to sleep this week? No. Yeah. All right. Good call there, Carl. And your second pick, ma'am.
Okay. Oh God, there's so many.
I know.
I would like to once again remind our players, Jupiter Ascending still on the table, as is the Day the Earth stood still.
The Keanu Reeves
Keanu
version.
Reeves version.
Okay, I'm gonna go with A Scanner Darkly.
Whoa!
Linklater has entered the chat.
You're right. All right.
Keanu Reeves has also re-entered.
Yeah. Skinner, that's a little bit of Robert Downey Jr. in there as well.
DJ, Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder. Lots of people are rotoscoped into that.
Woody Harrelson, I believe.
Yep.
Winona Ryder, sometimes the better Natalie Portman.
It's true.
What is it about A Scanner Darkly?
I love Philip K. Dick.
Yeah.
So I think his work is phenomenal.
You got
and
Blade
this
Runner.
is actually a really good adaptation of his work.
I've never seen this movie.
Oh my gosh.
I got a Korean bootleg because it came out when I was in Korea, but the quality of the bootleg was crap. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
this
this is
one's
terrible.
tough to watch.
And
Yeah, this is tough to watch if it's a terrible copy because it
Yeah.
is all rotoscoped. So it has that
So
kind
it's
of
already terrible.
It already looks weird.
yeah, rotoscope is fucking weird.
It already looks weird. This is another one where I just love the ending. It's such a downer ending, but I kind of
Carol,
We're
showing
finding
her
out
true
that
colors.
Carol loves to hate herself.
I didn't rewatch this one after 12 months. Man, it's like we'll commit suicide now. I watch another movie.
Yeah, but downers pack a certain type of emotional punch, man.
Yeah.
And when they're done right, they'll
Stick
get
with you.
Yeah, they'll stick with you. Looking at you, Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Have you seen this movie? Man?
I haven't.
Yeah, you haven't?
It's been on my list to watch for forever,
Since
but
05.
This one, yeah.
I just haven't gotten around to
Yeah,
it.
I love it.
Yeah, same here. Same here. What about you? You checked out Scanner Darkly?
A long time ago, I barely remember anything about it. I remember the rotoscoping, and I remember Robert Downey Jr.
Can you quickly give us a brief summation?
It deals with drugs in the future and a cop who goes undercover who can't remember if he's undercover or if he's actually it
Well,
really
that's
has to deal
inconvenient.
with it really has to deal with memories and how you're remembering things because the drug really fucks with your brain.
Did they do Total Recall? Memory for
Yes.
you for wholesale?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right
Yeah.
then.
He's really big on screwing with your brain.
Drugs.
Yeah.
And
also
drugs
that.
because he did a lot of them. So
All right.
it's a really good film. I really like it. It does have a bit of a downer ending.
So that's around about 05-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's RDJ starting to come back into his prominence.
He's trying.
He's trying. Okay. He's talking about drugs. You get RDJ.
He said, "What now?"
He just showed up to the set. No one invited him. Heard y'all talking about drugs in here.
2006.
2006. Okay.
yes.
Right on, right
Still
on.
not. Still
So
not
this-
away. Still not his rise.
So this had to be his movie right before Iron Man then, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Joel.
It was the only way they could insure him is if they rotoscoped him.
We need to make you a cartoon.
Yeah, in case he messes up, we can just replace you with anybody.
Literally
really.
anybody.
Anybody.
Get Roger Rabbit in there.
Joel, it is on here for penultimate.
Okay, so I have 7 on my list that I need to choose from.
Penultimate meaning you have 2 left.
No, I know. Oh no.
Yeah, math requires you to
I have-
take 5 of those
I
out.
have lots to choose from, and I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm vacillating. Do you know what that word is?
Yes.
I'm going to go with
You should be oscillating between 2 of those.
Terminator 2.
Ooh, that's surprisingly took so long to come off the board. It was somebody's first pick when we did this last time.
It's honestly, it was higher up on my list, but then no one kept picking it, and so like in the back of my head, I was like, well, maybe no one will pick it, and I'll have it, and I do.
There you go. Strategy revealed.
You kept the dream alive.
I did. I'm just carrying the James Cameron torch over here.
Hey, you got one more spot left, so that avatar is waiting for you.
Yeah, oh man, you gave it all away. Terminator 2 I watched when I was a younger man, and so I really identified rebelliously with our young man there,
John Connor there.
Sean Connery.
Just a huge Edward Furlong fan,
Just
aren't
like if I could do an Edward Furlong draft, I would prefer that.
I'm unavailable that day.
you? Me and Leslie were drunkenly looking at his filmography
like-
last night. As a matter of
As
fact.
like I
Oh,
kept trying to
wow.
put American History X into sci-fi, I just could not get it to squeeze.
Pet Cemetery 2 could probably be.
He was at Mad Monster Party. I saw him a year ago?
Old
years ago?
Eddie Furlong.
Yeah.
Yeah, still hanging on to life, huh?
Yeah, he's trying.
Barely.
Yeah.
I was John Connor.
He's got a good dealer, I think.
Well, great for him. Where does T2 rank on your action movies? Because for the longest, it was number 2 for me.
Yeah, definitely top 3. Definitely top 3. I'd have to think about it, but yeah, it's up there. My favorite of the Terminator franchise, Terminator has a place in my heart, but T2 came in and just blew it all away.
Right.
It's one of the best action movies, sci-fi movies. It's got everything you're looking for. If you're looking for a little bit of a jolt in your film, I really identify with John Connor. I wanted to be rebellious and drive a motorcycle and ride down the LA River and wear a bandana. And he did all those things.
He did all those things in one film, man. He killed your whole bucket list in one film. Now, Carol, as a person who is synonymous with horror, one might say, where are you more Terminator or T2?
Terminator.
More
I
Terminator.
actually prefer Terminator.
Yeah, it's
it
just
has-
Michael Biehn being all
has
Biehn.
the-
All about the beat.
I think Terminator 2 has the same problem that Aliens does, and it's the child.
But
Okay.
it's Newt.
That's hey, you can't. Yeah, it's nude, man. It's nude.
Yes.
Carol's like, fuck them kids.
The reason why I mostly don't like Aliens, mostly.
Okay, all right, no, fair.
It's one of those things. Edward Furlong
He's not good.
he's not good.
No.
Not good.
No, he's not good.
He is when you are 13 years old.
Right. And
I will say the effects are much better in the second one,
Yeah.
but I actually prefer the story of the first one.
Right on, right on. What's your thoughts on T2 there, man?
I did love Terminator 2 for a long, long time until these sci-fi movies that have been on my list, were released.
Kind of bump it down further and further.
But yeah,
and further.
I mean, I was probably 15 when this came out or thereabouts, and it was totally radical, man.
Oh, yeah. Totally. It had the apocalypse, bro.
Right on.
And the one-liners, it was
yeah.
fun, and I enjoyed watching T-2000 break up into liquid metal and then reform and all that.
Yeah,
That
one of the
that
greatest villains on screen, for
was-
sure.
Absolutely.
yeah, young Robert Patrick, just out there being young and Robert Patrick.
For like 20 years, he was the same age.
Yeah,
And then he aged rapidly. It was like
28
it
to
was all
overnight.
downhill.
57.
Someone torched that photo or that portrait in his attic, and he was like, "Oh crap!"
The voodoo doll went missing.
They Dorian Grayed him.
We're from the same area of the country, so we ran in the same circles for a few years.
You and Robert Patrick did?
Yeah, well, he's older, but I was
You went to the
hanging
same
out with
Waffle
people
House.
that were not my age, so
Okay. All right.
yeah.
What was he doing back in those days?
Yeah, what was he doing?
What was he
just
all about?
ragging everybody he was in
I
T2.
know. Wearing a leather jacket.
He's a good guy.
Hello, young people.
Yeah.
Right on, right on. I dig me some Rob Patrick. All right, Mia, you have your ninth and your final pick right
Man,
here.
I'm
So you got to make them
motherfucking
count.
stressing, man.
You got to be stressing.
I've become attached to this list.
The draft is serious business, man.
I got to get all these tattoos.
The winner of this draft, by the way, will have a free ride to the Big Poprika Draftomania at the end of the year. Yes. One of you three.
Okay, so I'm gonna put Primer on here.
Primer!
Yep.
The
From my indie people.
lost 10th episode of the Cinnamon. Primer episode.
So you've seen this?
Oh, yes.
I'm surprised by that.
You're surprised I've seen Primer. Science fiction is what
you-
I live and
you
breathe,
have
man.
taste.
Yeah. Science fiction,
I
comic
didn't-
books
I
are
didn't-
how I live.
I didn't mean it to come out like that. I just
It
thought,
hurts me just a little bit in here. Just a little bit in here.
All right, I'll stop talking now.
Yes, yeah, I've seen Primer a couple times.
Oh,
Because you need to see it a couple
Yeah,
times.
more than once.
Yeah.
Definitely more than the one time.
yeah.
Try and summarize this movie. I'd like to see you do this.
Okay. So there's these two employees that are also friends. They are trying to solve shipping cost problems, and they accidentally create time travel.
She's doing a really good job.
Yeah. It
And-
sounds absurd, but that's what happens.
And one of them gets power hungry in a hurry.
And things
here's,
ensue.
oh boy. And then you get confused for an hour.
Go straight Hugh Jackman on it.
They want to get rich quick, so they use the time machine for that purpose, and then find out somebody else is using the machine. And they have no idea what the fuck's going on there. The audience doesn't know. The audience only knows what the characters in the movie know, which isn't everything. And that's and that's, I think there's beauty in that.
Yeah, there's
in
no
Primer.
dramatic irony there. There's no, we know something the characters don't know. No, we know nothing, as little as the characters themselves.
Right, and
know.
some things aren't answered.
I hate when films spoon feed the audience, and this
Oh,
is
yeah.
like whatever the opposite of that is what Primer is.
Often when like a foreign movie hits big and then Hollywood remakes it into something with a whole bunch of money and new faces and whatnot, like we're getting supposedly a Parasite remake, and they just announced another Round
Hi.
remake.
Oh, thank you.
I push against those, but every once in a while, there's like a little cheap joint that I'm like, Hollywood should put some fucking money into this. And for me, that's Primer. Like, that dope idea deserves money thrown at it, I think. Like, give me some good visuals and give me some better actors than what we got.
I don't know
And
what
a better
the budget
person
was.
behind the push for it.
It was
'cause
like
Shane Carruth
$7,000.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Imagine if they even just doubled that for $14,000, what they could accomplish. I mean,
Clerks
it
was 28,000. So we can give these guys something, man.
Yeah.
All right, good call. Carol, do you get that on some
I
Primer?
have not seen Primer in years and years and years, so I can't really. I remember being impressed by what they were able to accomplish with so little money.
Yeah.
And in the world where so many people are making crap movies with their iPhones and then releasing them on Amazon Prime.
Oh,
You talking about without remorse? I mean, it's not that
fired.
bad.
I just had to sit through Killer Pinata. So
Whoa.
Yeah, the time machine in Primer is actually made out of a Whirlpool washing machine. What's your thoughts on this?
Primer is I'm a big fan of the time machine genre, and it's definitely one of the more inventive and frustrating ones. It's one of the it's one of those few films that that you have to like grapple with. Like, there's not a lot of films where you like, a lot of times you watch film and you're like, okay, and you can kind of like talk to some friends and kind of get a general idea, like, okay, yeah, I can see what they were doing there. Primer is, I just remember going like, whoa, like every time, and then it's like, okay, I thought that's what was going on, but it's definitely not. Yeah, it's if you like time travel and you like storage facilities, this is your film.
Have any of you seen Time Lapse?
No.
no.
Yeah, it's a movie about a camera that takes a photo 24 hours into the future, and then
Yes. We
fuckery
watched
ensues.
that, didn't we?
No, I haven't seen it, but it's on my list of things to watch.
Check it out.
Is that on
Netflix? It was
Okay, I
like
think I
years
saw it.
ago, but I don't think it is anymore.
Okay.
'Cause I haven't seen it on there
I
anymore.
think I saw it on Netflix.
Yeah, it's another little fairly low budget joint that that wildly spins out of control. Not on the level of Primer. Primer is very cerebral. Good choice. And your last pick, Mia. Final countdown.
The Manchurian Candidate.
Oh, which one?
Oh, the original.
The Sinatra joint.
Ain't no love for
Angela
Denzel.
Lansbury.
All right. Manchurian Candidates. All right. I was not expecting to hear that today.
love it.
Why that joint?
That's one of my top 5 movies. And I wouldn't normally say that this is a sci-fi movie, but
I mean, mind control.
yeah, because of the chemical mindfuckery. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put it on my list.
Okay. The judges will let it slide. I know Carol has issues with Sinatra.
I have issues with Sinatra as a human being.
Yes.
No argument here.
I have issues with Sinatra as an actor. I don't think he was a great actor. Far better singer and entertainer than he was an actor. I don't think he got an Oscar for anything.
No.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, he's all right in this movie. I thought the premise is great. The execution is great, but Sinatra's one of the weaker parts of the movie for me. I thought Denzel did a better job in the remake.
Well, okay.
And then
acting,
Denzel's the
just
best part of
judging-
a okay remake.
Right. I don't really care for the remake.
Yeah.
In the original, I didn't really see what was coming. And when on rewatches, it's just you see a little bit more. You see a little bit more. You pick up on different things.
We hadn't seen Game of Thrones yet, so we weren't fully
I don't know where you're going with
like
that.
a hell amount of incest in Manchurian Candidate.
Oh, right.
Wow. All right. I see your pulse there, sir. All right. That is an interesting final choice there. The Manchurian Candidate.
Hey, well, I have so many. Look, Daryl.
Yes.
Scroll.
Yes. Oh, I know the empty lists. The empty lists that come afterwards. Carol, we've talked about this movie before.
Yeah.
I have no idea what your thoughts were.
No, I really liked the original. I think that was my pick when we did it on Refried Scenes, that I like the original better, even though it starred Frank Sinatra. For me, it's all about Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain I went with the original as well. I'm gonna go back and listen to that episode. Right on. Have you? What's your thoughts on Old Manchurian?
I've seen the Denzel version, have not seen the original.
All right then.
Denzel, I agree with you. Denzel's great, but the movie not so good.
Yep. I'm glad we are agreed on that. Sir, what is your final pick?
A movie I didn't think would last this long, but I'm gonna go with my final pick of Back to the Future.
Ooh. Let's see if the power of love takes you to victory here. What are the best parts of this movie?
Michael J. Fox doing anything, and I mean, I was again another movie I was introduced to, not way too young, but at the perfect age.
Yeah.
And it's just it's the best time travel movie, and it's Christopher Lloyd being crazy, and there's a cool car, and
Huey Lewis.
yeah, and Huey Lewis, the non-Patrick Bateman version.
Huey Newton or Huey? Yeah, Huey Lewis in the news, right?
In the news.
Right.
Yeah, in the news.
Yeah.
Huey Lewis in the news.
Yeah.
Huey Newton's a Black Panther.
Yeah, no, that's a different movie.
Far different movie.
But yeah, I mean, it encapsulates a generation. Like there's so many people out there that this is their favorite movie, and it's in my top 10 of all time, and it's a great movie.
All right, then right on. Something I don't say often, that certain people were born to play certain roles, and I think Michael J. Fox was born to be Marty McFly.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Carol, what's your thoughts on old Back to the Future?
I absolutely adore Crispin Glover.
Okay, what expecting Crispin Glover love? All right.
You
No,
are
it makes
my
a lot of sense
density.
now. It makes a lot of sense.
You are my density.
My density, yes, I love it. Are
I don't,
you
I
okay?
don't love him in many things, but I love him in this film.
Yeah, I think that kind of sums up my thoughts on Crispin Glover. I don't love him in much, but he knocks it out of the park in this movie. He being the person who ended up creating whole new trademark laws, right? When they tried to reuse his likeness in Back to the Future
Yes.
2 and he sued.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was like, "No, get this mess out of here. Don't be using my swoop hair for nothing else."
I gotta talk to rats.
Yeah, get Willard out here. Carol,
I will say he is one of the better things about the American Gods show.
yes, he is very good in American Gods.
Yes,
Yeah.
so.
The final pick of this sci-fi draft lies on you.
Do I have one or two?
You have one. This is it.
One? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Be good to me, Carol. Pick something good.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go strong here.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Damn! No. I refuse. No, that is not a science fiction
How is that
movie.
not a science fiction
I have
movie?
tried to explain this to many people. What about that is science fiction? Dystopian future does not equal science fiction. It does not equal science fiction. I argue against that until the day I die. There is nothing science or fiction. Can you give me one more beer out of that fridge there, sir, if you can? There's nothing science or fiction about this movie. What is science fiction about this movie?
Well, even you can't say like The Road is science fiction.
I don't say The Road is science fiction.
It's the future. That happens to be science fiction. Whenever you depict the future, it is science fiction.
I'm going to be side with Carol here, although I do not care for Fury Road. Dystopian future is science fiction.
All right, dystopian future science fiction. Okay, I will give you Mad Max
They
Fury
have
Road.
different technology.
I could choose another one.
No, you've chosen Mad Max Fury Road. I just don't. I never understood how dystopian. There's nothing sciency about a dystopian future.
It's how we deal with it. I mean, you can actually say Children of Men is not science fiction.
But then again, that's dystopian future. But the fact that something horribly biological has happened that women can't have kids, there's your science issue right there.
But you don't know what caused
the wastelands.
The wastelands of Mad Max, because they don't really go into it in Mad Max.
No, they don't.
They just kill his wife.
Good old toe cutter. All right then. So go ahead and talk
brought
about.
Back is Immortal Joe. That's, yeah.
Just passed last year, I do believe.
Yeah.
Mediocre. Go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, so I absolutely love the visuals of this film. I love it. It does
this
star.
one's for you.
It does star Tom Hardy.
Oh yeah, old mumble mouth Hardy himself.
I love his weird hair
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no barbers in a dystopian future, are there?
But like, how many men could rock that
Successfully.
weird, buzz cut, but it missed some places?
I love all of
Tom
the
Hardy.
practical effects that George Miller does in this film. I think
Right.
visually it's stunning. I put it right up there with Blade Runner 2049 visually, as far as the cinematography and the way it looks.
Okay.
They also had enough sense to cover his mouth again.
Yep.
You don't rock with Mad Max. Why is that?
No,
Fury Road. in
not
particular.
not Fury Road. I think the storyline lacked some reasoning as far as let's spend 90% of the movie getting to one place and then just 10% on the return journey.
Yeah, when you break it down to its
That-
component elements, it's really just go from A to
a
B
road
back to
movie.
A. The end.
And
But
I'm-
it was awesome.
I'm fine with that if it takes 50% of the journey to
And then
point
50%
B
back.
and then 50% back. But I was just like, wait a minute. I was with you through all this, all this shit happens on the way there, but we're not supposed to think any roughneck shit
Well,
happens
yeah,
on the
because
way
they're
there?
all dead.
That's a good point. They cleared the path on the way out there. That's like if the Goonies
It's
get
like-
out of the pirate ship and go backwards through to Mavatelli
I
shit.
think I wanted it to make more sense.
It is like the Lord of the Rings. It's like they spent a year there, but the trip home got one chapter.
There and back again.
But Lord of the Rings has hobbitses, and I really...
Okay, that's
It is visually stunning. No argument there.
yeah. The practical effects, I think, are what sell that movie. I was browbeaten and threatened into putting Fury Road on the
I
list.
was wondering what happened before you were screaming.
Yeah, she got me with a lot of body blows, which is why you don't see anything on the face. What are your thoughts on Mad Max Fury Road?
I love Mad Max Fury Road. It's the reason why my Chromecast is named Shiny and Chrome. It is
Shiny and chrome.
No, it's super fun. It has a crazy guy playing guitar with flames. Where else
Right.
are you gonna get that?
Right.
No, a big fan.
The end. Okay, so in our last minute here, let's wind down these lists. Carol, your list is as such: 2001: A Space Odyssey, Ghost in the Shell, Blade Runner, Children of Men, Metropolis, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 12 Monkeys, Annihilation, A Scanner Darkly, and Mad Max Fury Road. How you feeling?
I'm good with that. I had 53 other movies on my list that I'm looking at now, going, should I have chosen The Day the Earth Stood Still?
Ah, yes. Now the doubt creeps in.
I should have gone with Keanu every time.
All right, Joel, your list: Empire Strikes Back, The Matrix, Blade Runner 2049, Edge of Tomorrow, Arrival, Jurassic Park, Interstellar, The Thing, Terminator 2, and Back to the Future. How are you feeling about your list, sir?
I feel really good. It's a solid list. This is a good list that I would watch in a good couple of days.
All right, right on. And Mia, your list, ma'am. Alien, Wall-E, Tenet, Inception, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Galaxy Quest, La Gite, Ex Machina, Primer, and the 62 Manchurian Candidate. How are you feeling?
That's a good cross section of my taste in movies.
Yeah. You got a little bit of everything in there. You got a little space joint, a little bit of cerebral joint in there.
That was my strategy.
There you go. You've covered the gamut. You run the gamut. All right then. So that is going to do it for the Sci-Fi Draft Part 2. One of these people will be heading on to the Draftomania in December of this year. Who will it be? We will see when the votes go up. Until then, you guys take it easy and have a good one.
Watch Dune.